YANG mapping tool we developed. First, let's go through the user guide. This mapping tool is developed according to rules in IFC 6020 and also the mapping rules developed by ONF IMP group. We developed this tool use the programming language JavaScript in Node.js environment. Here is the architecture and components in this tool. We use UML files as input, and the main.js file process the inputs and generate YANG files as output. In main.js file, we translate the object classes in UML files into the objects in YANG files. Here are the files and directories in this project. Here are a list of mapping rules we implemented in this tool. We have implemented object class mapping, attribute mapping, type mapping, and so on. There are also some rules we have not implemented at the moment, and that's the work in progress. We will update our tool and upload to GitHub later. Here is the introduction of how to run this tool. In the next part of the video, I will show how to run this tool step by step. First, you'll go to the Node.js website to download the stable version of Node.js, and you can install it in your system. I will not go into details about installation here. Next, you should download the mapping tool from GitHub. It's in the Eagle project under the UML YANG tools branch. You can download the zip file or clone it to your desktop. After you download this tool, it will look like this. And this project folder is where you should store the UML files and YANG files. To show how the tools is working, let me use ONF information model as an example. We choose TAPI module UML file and copy it to the project folder, as I show here. Next, you open the terminal in your computer. For me, it's in this directory. So the first thing I will need to do is install the Node.js module XML reader. After a brief moment, we can see that the XML reader module is successfully installed. Now we can run our tool. We can see that the UML file is read successfully, and 4 YANG files are generated, as we can see here. So we generate each YANG file module according to this structure. For object class, we have a YANG module and another module for type definition, and each module in the interfaces have a YANG module. We can also see the YANG files using a YANG IDE, which can show the errors, where there are errors, and validate the YANG model. Now we can import the YANG files as a project. I'm going to open the project I already created here. So we can see these are the YAML files that just generated. I click it. And we can see this is the content of this YAML file. And here we can also see this tree structure of this file. See all the object and its attributes. This tool can also check whether the format is right, validate the YAML model, see if I remove this column here, there will be a note that mismatch input enum expecting semicolon. So if I put it back, the error will disappear. IDE validation tool is a plugin for Eclipse. And for more information about this plugin, you can also go to GitHub. It's called XOR Young IDE, and you can check this for installation instruction. If you use the updated open model profile, which supported the new stereotype part of key, you can just change in the object class which the attribute you want to define as a key, so that the mapping tool will automatically generate the key as the key. For example, if I use topology here, I want to use UUID as its key. Double click it, and you change the profile part of the key from 0 to 1. Now you can use the UUID as a key. Now the tool supports multiple keys, so if you want to use another attribute as a key, for example, name list, you can also change the profile, this part of key stereotype, to 1, so that the topology will have 2 keys. We set the UUID as a key in the translated YAML files. We have key UUID here. It's the UUID it's a key for the node, and the UUID is also the key for the link. And the topology, it has several of these attributes.